Okay, I believe we are live. How is the volume? Get to bed, get your drinks made. It's already made. Mountains are blue.
Yep. Put your browns on there.
It's odd. I didn't realize there was interconnection at the grain bins. So, yep, here we are. What's the score of the Super Bowl? I don't even know if they're still playing. After I made this title, Kayla informed me that we can, in fact, watch the Super Bowl. We just don't really care. But I'm surprised that the Bucs are actually winning. Be honest with you, I'm not a big Tom Brady fan, but it's hard not to root for Tom Brady at this point. So is it like halftime, or is the game almost over?
He was winning a soccer match.
That's going to be crazy if Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl. Let's talk about farming. All right, let's talk about farming. It's really cold.
It's what, 10 degrees today?
No, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, look, there's Zach.
What's cable?
Satellite, I don't know. We haven't had satellite or cable in what, like 4 years? El Cheapo over here got mad when the satellite bill went up like $5 and said we're done. So we haven't had cable since.
Funny story. Bob Brown got mad that the trash bill went up and we haven't had a dumpster in like 2 weeks.
We have not. Zach Corner, thanks for the $1. Yeah, so Dad has had a constant battle with our dumpster service for probably the last 10 years. And he told him like a week ago to come get the damn thing. He was done with them. And I'm like, Dad, what do we do now? We don't have a dumpster at the moment.
When are you going to trim your beard?
I don't know. I was going to do that pretty soon. Then I was like, man, we're going to start doing some field tiling. And it's super cold, so I'm keeping it now for warmth. I didn't really want to get a haircut just yet, but took Dax to get a haircut and get one too. When's the Gleaner coming? The Gleaner is supposed to be built here pretty soon. I was hoping to get to go do the tour of the plant and maybe drive it off the line, but unfortunately, due to COVID, I don't think that's going to get to happen. We use a burn barrel. I don't see that's an option. I don't know how legal that is in our area, so I didn't want to say it on the interwebs. We do technically still have a dumpster, but we had two. Now we only have one. And
we don't have one. The neighbor has one, and we're using the neighbors, and they know.
Whatever. I mean, we didn't need to go into detail. There's a dumpster on the farm still. Shave it off. I have not been clean shaven since 2012.
You look like a baby.
Everybody says I look old. It's because I have a beard.
How's the piano going?
Yeah, so there's a new video on the After Hours channel. Actually, I think it's just called Brian Brown now, but yeah, in the new video, someone gave us a piano. In fact, so if you want to see me and my brother and one of my brother-in-law throw our backs out, there it is. Grow a mullet. I think I should grow a mullet.
That'd be an interesting look.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really. You hear the
dog moving.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but our basset hound is howling outside the door right now.
He sounds like a cow mooing.
He does sound like a cow.
I'm 14 and trying to get into farming and just can't compete with the big guys. Any advice?
Well,
start small, not big.
Keep in mind you're 14, so you got plenty of time. I mean, just be patient. Don't go into too much debt, and hopefully something will present itself. Just be ready when the opportunity does present itself. You just asked for advice.
How's the corn planter?
We haven't really made any progress on it since the last video. In fact, I mean, nothing's happened. I did sell some stuff, so all the E-sets are gone. The row cleaners are gone, and I think someone's spoken for the no-tills. I think. I need to check my emails again because they're still sitting there, but should have the parallel arms tomorrow. And then we will, continue.
But how cold is it here?
12 degrees.
Is it really?
Yep.
No, earlier it said it was 10 degrees.
Yeah, it was like 26 when we got the piano. Yeah, the temperature's been weird. It was warm this morning. It got really cold, warmed back up when the sun came out. And as soon as the sun went down, it got pretty cold again.
-15 a minute. Why are they hiding that?
I don't know. Brandon, your -15 was hid from us for some reason. Now everyone can see. -15 Minnesota. That's a bit rough. Still no takers on the wife.
Did you try to sell me?
No.
Oh.
Zach, thank you for another $1. Cheers to you, good sir. Moist, yes. Yes, it is a little bit moist. So yesterday, we were working around the gravel pit, and it got really moist over there. My truck's a muddy mess. What's the difference between the high speed that we are putting on versus the Fendt planter? Same concept, different company. So the Fendt had precision meters on it, and we're putting ag liter meters.
Hi from Brazil.
I'm so ugly.
Thanks, Nadia.
Yeah, we should.
Way to be kind.
I don't care. I am pretty ugly. I mean, there's a reason I keep the beard. It hides the face.
Notice how their picture is not of their face.
Yeah. Oh well. No, just kidding. See, I figured they were just kidding.
Yeah, once they got called out, of course.
Simmer down, simmer down. Kayla likes she likes getting raunchy, or not raunchy, likes getting rowdy on the interwebs.
I don't. That's just rude. He does look Amish.
Amish? I have the mustache though. What were you guys looking at Apple Farm service? New purchase maybe. Dad had it in his mind that he wanted a telehandler, which our telehandler is pretty much done for. So we have an old Gale telehandler. The transmission went out. The transmission costs more than the telehandler, like more than what we paid for the telehandler. So we are looking to replace that. My thought was, let's try to replace it with an identical one. That way we have a whole spare machine for parts, because it's not like the one we have is worth anything now. And Dad decided we needed a brand new one for a second.
We're at the top of the search for Super Bowl Live.
Bam! It's only a matter of time before this gets demonetized. Drink up, fellas. Demonetized has nothing to do with the Super Bowl, my guess. Need mods to kick the trolls out. I haven't seen any. Huh. Okay. Fix that picture.
We're always told it's crooked. Livia likes to play with them, and she knocks them sideways.
Better? Better? No? Eh. Oh well. Be grateful you have hair. Yeah, it's starting to thin down a little bit, but it's still hanging in there. By this time, my brother was bald when he was my age. Liquid application of fertilizer when we plant. No, it's not something that interests us at the moment. So especially since we're strip tilling, I don't see the need to put down a starter fertilizer with the strip till. And I know we haven't used starter in a long time. Do y'all watch the game? Not really our thing. We're not big football fans. It has nothing to do
And
with.
we don't have TV to watch games and get into games. We have Netflix.
Yeah. At one time, we used to watch the Cavs. Her family's big Cavaliers fans. We used to go to games, but we haven't done that since we got rid of satellite, really. Code. Yep. Do you know where Cider County is? I do. We've been there. She went to school there.
Not Portsmouth.
Yeah. -22 in North Dakota. So the people that gave us this piano, they gave it to us because they're moving and they can't take the piano with them. They're moving to Iowa. And I heard they told me this. And I was like, if you look at the forecast in Iowa, she said it's supposed to be -12 when they get there. So yeah. Well, didn't know you're moving from the tropics, did you? We tried an antenna. So this person said they got rid of cable and put up an old antenna. We tried that, and unfortunately, we don't live close enough to any big cities. Couldn't really get anything.
We got like Spanish soap opera or something like that.
Yeah, I thought I seen something about Tyler up here. Did you?
I
lose track of where we are in the chat all the time. I don't know how to slow it down. Where we
You should have an internship, right?
How old is BJ? My brother is 42 and I am 30.
Their birthday is the same exact day, 12 years apart.
Does our title say soar and not score?
I don't know.
I don't even know how to see the title right here. If it does, I'll fix it after we get done. When's the Gleaner coming? Should be here in like a month, maybe 2. Mayor or Ohio Ag for the Gleaner. We went through Ohio Ag. Hello from Zanesville.
How's Squishy?
Squishy's good. Squishy's getting very fat.
Squishy had a friend show up.
Yeah, the friend disappeared.
What?
The friend that showed up, Dad said he hasn't seen it in like 4 days.
Yeah, and then we went over there and
No,
we saw it.
No, since then.
I bet if we go over there, we see it.
I haven't been over, but I don't know either. I'm just going to go back to the bottom.
Boss knows best. Who's the boss?
Me. Any more questions?
Will you quit doing that? I can't read anything.
How come nobody hitting that like button? That is a good question. Someone said, how's mom doing? The mom got her COVID vaccination, I think, a week ago. Dad's supposed to get his tomorrow, I found out. They're hoping once they both get their vaccinations that they'll be able to visit in person again. But as it is right now, we still can't visit yet. So. Other than that, she's doing good.
It says score, not soar.
Oh, good. From Virginia. John Deerman, 17. There's your shout out.
Any word on what? Tuning for John Deere.
Yeah, waiting to hear from Ben if he wants to come out. So Farm Focus is going to tune it. We are going to tune it. Just waiting to see if our schedules are going to align to where Ben can come out with his dyno, or if we're just going to hook it up with the handheld tuner. Pretty positive we can do it ourselves. Ben was thinking about bringing his dyno out, making a video of that. I thought that'd be pretty cool to see like the dyno numbers before and after we tuned it, but I don't know. We haven't got there yet. Oh, where'd it go? Did we lose it? Did it leave? Darn going on. There it is. I hate I like doing it on the iPad better.
I don't know what you're doing.
I was.
Just leave it alone.
What's the local economy like near you? I suppose it's good.
Who plays the piano? Emmy.
Yeah, definitely not me.
Dax tried piano lessons. He liked hitting the keys more than he actually liked just like the learning of the piano. He just wanted to play with it. So Emmy's doing the piano playing lessons.
Yeah. Someone asked if I put a water pump on my truck. Nope, never had to yet. There's BJ.
What are winter plans?
Well, normally, like the last 2 winters, we've spent February going to farm shows, but that kind of got axed. So work. So we're going to be pretty busy with the planter once we get the parallel arms. I would say pretty much all this coming week we'll be drilling out parallel arms, putting bushings in those. Evan will probably be back down at some point this week, and we'll start putting ag leader parts on. I'm hoping we can wrap that planter up. I'd say it's going to take at least 2 weeks, and then we're going to start field tiling. So we have like 110,000 feet of tile we're going to put in. I don't think we're going to get all that done because we're going to run into weather where we need to be doing field work instead. But I want to get a good bit of that done.
Who gets to run the new gleaner?
Okay, so Dad keeps saying me, which surprises me. He says he wants to keep the cloths. I don't know. We'll see.
Will you ever get any cattle?
Just the one in the freezer.
How did you guys do? It was so exciting.
We were just born this way.
Yeah.
Yep. Big Mama is the boss. I like your 8400. Doesn't seem to get used a lot. No, it doesn't really. That tractor has 3,500 hours, and we've had it since 1998.
Holy moly, Brian's only 30.
There's not a lot of wrinkles up here, folks. There's just a lot of beard. Not a lot of them.
I pulled a muscle the other day in my shoulder, reaching under the couch. I couldn't move.
She had a rice sock on her neck all night. Yeah. So when I turned 30, like we had a birthday party, like for me and my brother. It's both our birthdays. Had some friends come out, basically just camped in the woods. Had a good time. But the day I turned 30, I was playing kickball and I thought I tore my hamstring. And then the next morning I woke up, rolled over, and thought I dislocated my shoulder. And Kayla laughed. Oh, she laughed. Every time she'd see me wince in pain as I hobbled across the yard, she'd laugh. So I got quite the chuckle yesterday when she called me and told me she pulled her.
Yeah, but in all fairness, I was laughing at myself.
Oh, yeah, you were. You said I did something real stupid. And I was like, oh, shit. The house is on fire.
Why aren't you socially distancing? In our living room? Where? What are we going to do? Sit on separate couches?
Hold on. Let's get a little distance.
Yeah. Troll lives matter. Ah, you must be joking.
I think so.
Hey, from Kentucky.
Well, hello from Ohio. Who are you going for in the bowl? So I haven't watched any. We watched like the kickoff.
I wanted to watch the guy sign the national anthem. I didn't hardly show him.
Yeah. Fun fact: Kayla's very good at sign language. I'm not. So is her mother.
My brother's deaf.
Yeah. So when we were dating, Kayla and her sister and her mom would have conversations in the living room, and me, my brother-in-law, and my father-in-law would sit there and look at each other like, "What the hell are they saying?" Good times. Anyways, I hope Tom Brady wins if I had to pick someone.
You're getting ready to put
Yes.
Any thoughts on growing hemp?
I just moved.
Just leave it alone.
Oh, I gotta scroll down. I can't see him. Any thoughts on hemp? So not just yet. I'm not ready to do that yet. Not against it. If we can make money and there's a market, I'm up for it.
Wrinkles becoming proud, hanging tight.
Yeah, so when I got my hair cut the other day, I mean, it was getting pretty shaggy. I looked down the little apron and like the hair looked real shiny, and that's when I realized it had tinges of gray in it. It's perfect.
How's the rock sore?
It is good. It is very cold to drive right now.
Mine, the kid's ready for another cookie shipment. I just lost all the weight from the last cookie
Well,
shipment.
you just ate a cook.
I did.
She's dieting. She only ate one of the packs. 2 packs. That's what she lives off of every evening, if possible. It's because they haven't had them in a while. You did. I mean, they get in a shipment of those like once a month, and we clean them out. I'm the boss when I have your permission. Nah.
Buttons
Here, you run the computer then.
on everything.
Well,
Did you get the new tractor done?
we got everything installed. We're putting in it. I actually still have to put a Midland radio, but other than that, yes.
Is your old tractor in Worcester?
I believe it is in Canada now. Pretty sure it got sold to Canada, but it was in Worcester.
Winter weight comes off in the summer. You know, all the cookies. I like that.
Wisdom coming out. Kayla's got a lot of wisdom there.
Yeah, right
She
here.
has more gray than I do.
Miss the other intro music.
Yeah, I mean, I had some people say it was too long, and it kind of was long. It's 15 seconds. So the other one was my attempt at shortening that up. Because I think it's only like 8.5.
How's your dad in his new truck?
Pretty good. He rarely drives his big truck now.
We will hit 40 below in Alberta again tonight.
Is that 40 below Celsius? I don't know if that's colder or warmer.
Oh yeah, we're American.
Yeah,
we don't do that. Did you lock in fertilizer prices yet?
Yes. So we bought another 10,000 gallon 28 tank just for that. But yeah, we've got most of ours bought. Have a little bit left, but all in all, we're sitting pretty good.
-40 is cold either way.
Yeah, I don't want any part of that. So I duck hunted once in -20, and that was about as cold. That was my absolute limit. It was miserable.
That doesn't seem right.
I'm sure one of those is.
Maybe.
Like I know they overlap at some point.
Well, that's pretty cool. It is the same.
But I think 0 degrees Celsius is like 32 degrees Fahrenheit, I think.
I'm not mathing right now. Who's next on the ag train?
Huh? I don't know. Man, apparently Tampa Bay is going to win. That is crazy. What quarter is it?
You spend more time driving trucks or tractors?
If it wasn't for Larry, I'd probably spend way more time driving trucks. So I probably spend about 300 hours a year in a tractor and about 100 hours a year in a combine. How much longer before BJ can go up to the grain leg? I'd say the only way he's going up that grain leg is if I either A, get too fat to fit up the ladder, or B, lose my legs. I mean, I don't think he's going up there as long as I'm able to.
You watch any of the Canadian YouTube farmers?
Yeah, so South Sac, I have him on my subscription list. I've watched Straight Pipe Acres, and then Mike Mitchell. What were the results of the Fendt planter? The Fendt planter, like that was the first time we got to see like high-tech planters like over very many of our acres. And that's kind of why we ended up upgrading our planter. I know we were upgrading with different parts, but it proved to us that downforce, like hydraulic downforce, was definitely worth the money. So that's kind of what we've seen with it. The stand was a lot better where we had the momentum running last year.
Did you get the lime yet?
Huh?
Did you get the lime yet?
We have, so we had 200 tons we spread in December, I think. Still have more to do.
We are not from Canada. I would have known that 40 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Fahrenheit was the same if we were.
What are you talking about, E?
Have you done anything to the 4020?
No, I think we're just going to make it mechanically sound and fix the cab up a little bit. But in all honesty, I don't know when we're going to do it. So right now, that planner is taking up the whole shop, and we're going to be busy with it right up until the weather's fit, probably.
Is that a robot?
Probably. And it's the third quarter. Well, good. How have the Super Bowl commercials been? Has there been any good ones? Has Bud Light claimed that they don't like corn beer again? Or where got to be some good controversial something or other going on.
Yeah, so it was the one that was in the inauguration thing.
No, okay.
Good to run.
What are Big Mama's days like as a farm wife?
Depends on the time of the year.
So she's a single mother for about 6 months out of the year. And,
The other 6 months, I'm trying to kick you out of the house.
yeah. So she's a mother of 3 6 months and a mother of 4 6 months.
Have you ever used a track challenger?
Yep. So we had one at one time, and then we demoed an 875E a couple years ago, and we almost ended up with a track challenger instead of the John Deere. The main reason we went with the Deere is because it was a local trade-in. We were able to see it, and yeah, that's kind of how we ended up with the Deere. Just ended up being a little bit better bang for the buck.
Have you ever left your
It's
county?
a troll account. Yes, we have left our county. Left our county today to pick up a piano.
Have you ever considered animals?
We got 3 dogs.
We used to have chickens.
Yeah, Kayla, what is it you want, a miniature donkey?
I think they look really cool.
I think they just...
I'm sure they'd be stubborn and I'd hate it, but I think it looks cool on the internet. Are you going to get a new floater?
No, not anytime soon. So our floater, we bought it. When did we get that thing? We got a really good deal on that floater, but it is a 2006, and I think we bought it 3 or 4 years ago. We get along pretty well with it. It does perfect for the amount of acres we go over with it. If we were custom applying a lot, then yeah, but we're not. So that and strip tilling this year, I'm hoping we're doing dry fertilizer. That is our plan. And if that's the case, really the only thing we're going to be putting on with our floater will be bean fertilizer and lime. So it's actually going to take down a lot of the acres we'd be covering.
Why is the floater 3 wheels?
So there's different theories on that. We used to have a 4-wheel floater. A 3-wheel floater, I mean, you're just spreading out your compaction instead of having, there's different theories. Personally, I would rather have a 4-wheel floater because they ride nicer. But the 3-wheel one, you can get on ground maybe when it's a little bit wetter, I guess. And they turn a little shorter.
When are you getting Yankum ropes?
Pretty soon, actually. I just placed an order. So hopefully we'll be toting that tile plow around with a Yankum. Yeah, I told Kayla we were getting a Yankum rope. She just looked at me real funny. She had never heard of them. But fun fact about Yankum ropes, So the guy that owns that is also into off-roading. And go check out Yankum Rope's YouTube channel. He just rolled a Land Cruiser, and I thought that was hilarious. He's okay. You talking to your mom on the live stream?
Yeah, we got a piano.
Apparently, my mother-in-law just found out we got a piano. Nice to see you on here, Border View Farm. I didn't see him on here. Oh, there he is. Why not fall strip till Border View Farms? We didn't have a strip till bar at the time, but we are still using that company strip till bar this year. They were hoping to release that in Louisville, so I need to call them to see if we can say what brand it is. Pretty sure you can buy it now, so I would think you can say it, but I have not been given the green light on that. But that's why we didn't. Yeah, Matt's off-road and recovery channel. Yeah, I just watched that video, and yeah, I'm Matt's off-road and recovery has made his way into my suggested video feed. So I've been watching him quite a bit here lately. Any new Roxor mods? Well, she's going to be locked and loaded here soon. Hoping to do a cab here pretty soon. There's a company I'm working with. They're still building theirs, still designing it, and I'm hoping to get one of the first ones, but I don't know. They were hoping to have it done by the first of the year, and we're a little late. So,
what brand are you looking for?
Cheap one. So I would rather have a Gale just because that's what we have, and we can use it for parts. Dad likes to. So Dad's theory is he wants to get a He'd really like to get a front end loader with a telescoping boom, and kind of do a telehandler and a front end loader's job, and get rid of both of those pieces that we have. Realistically, it's probably not in our price range. We just don't use it enough to justify spending $50,000 to $100,000 on one. So whatever we get will probably be 30 years old and in the $10,000 price range. Not unless you have your own tank. So there's several farmers in the area that have their own bulk tanks, but there's no like co-op that has a tank that you can tend out of. That guy?
Yeah. It's annoying.
Yeah, troll lives matter, dude. You're getting axed. You done? Maybe. Yeah, there we go. We're too dumb to block you. Boom! Almost added him as a moderator. That would have been fun.
You look like it.
And now you're going. No more trolling for you. Bye.
Hey, from the other side of Chili Town.
Who's that?
Hey, Todd Burnett. Down.
Oh. Well, hey.
Get your wife an old Cadillac. I like my Suburban.
Well, when we bought the Suburban, we were looking at it like a.
I was afraid to drive a Suburban, so I figured I would back into everything.
Well, let's back up. So when we got married, Kayla had a car, and we bought a GMC Terrain. And that was like the biggest car you'd ever drove, wasn't it?
No.
You were scared shitless to drive my truck.
It doesn't mean I never drove one.
Well,
before.
either way, you were worried that the Suburban was too big, weren't you?
What I just said. How much have you drank?
One beer. We were looking at a Tahoe or like the Tahoe-sized Cadillac Escalade or the Yukon. And then we looked in the back of it and realized there was absolutely no space whatsoever. Anyways, moving on. Awkward silence.
Squishy update.
Squishy's fat and sassy.
Who are you rooting for?
On the Super Bowl, so I don't really watch football at all. I like to make fun of my brother. He's a Bengals fan. And I like to make fun of Dad because he's a Browns fan. But, I mean, out of these two teams, I hope Tom Brady wins.
How's the week coming along?
Wheat looks fine. It's bitter cold right now with no snow. I wish we had some snow. And it keeps freezing and thawing, which is probably not great for the wheat. I wish we would get like 2 inches of snow while it's cold. And I wish once that melts off, it would warm up.
Thoughts on scrambled eggs? We had them for breakfast.
Yeah, we like eggs. We eat a lot of eggs. Well, we eat eggs when we're not lazy. Sometimes we just
Olivia eats eggs almost every day. Scrambled eggs are her favorite.
Yeah, I skip breakfast a lot.
You like
Massey Ferguson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a Sassy Massey and we have a baby Sassy Massey, and both of them are good tractors. How's the Duramax? Mine, well, which one? It depends on. So there's 5 of them on the farm. We got mine, which is a 1 ton. BJ has a 3/4 ton. Dad has a 3/4 ton. The Colorado is a Duramax, and Dad's half ton is also a Duramax. Get her an Escalade. 3 years free oil changes. Well, they ought to be. You ever seen the price of one of them things? So we're going to run our Suburban for a while, we hope, unless something major happens to it. But I'd really like to get one of the Duramax Suburbans that just came out in like 3 years. I see they get 27 miles to gallon, and that intrigues me.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea. Right, you need to tone down the lingo, or YouTube's going to block you before I get to.
You ready for GM's all-electric fleet?
So I heard that got taken back or rescinded, but and I have no problem with electric cars. I just don't think that the technology's there yet, or the infrastructure's there yet. But if GM got completely away from electric cars just for a political statement, I would get away from GM.
What was your first truck?
It was a 3/4 ton regular cab Silverado.
Is that the one you like the wheel, the steering
Yeah,
wheel?
so that truck was kind of a, I mean, it was a good truck for a 16-year-old kid, but so the steering wheel was broken up and you could wiggle it back and forth. And I was doing a donut in the park driveway one time, and the steering wheel locked, and I couldn't move it. Like it caught, like a piece of plastic caught, and I couldn't do nothing. And that was sketchy. I didn't like that feeling. That happened a few times. So I had that truck not very long when we started dating. Do you remember much about it? I think we had it. I had it when we started dating.
Yeah. Tesla cars are crazy fast.
I know they are, and that's what intrigues me about them. And like from an off-roading standpoint, so King of the Hammers is going on right now, an off-roading race, and there was an electric vehicle in that. And I would think in an off-roading environment, as long as your battery was charged, like that instant response in the throttle would probably be pretty awesome. But I've never drove an electric car. That's growing corn.
Oh, his name's Tony Reed.
I think so.
He makes me laugh.
Yeah, so we watch Growing Corn on the TikTok, and yes, I would most definitely invite him to come out here and run my combine.
Seems like we could just go to his house and it'd be fine.
Yeah, it just seems like he's okay with random people stopping. In Alaska, he lives in Alaska, right outside of Fairbanks. If you don't know what we're talking about, folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, Kayla and I play around on TikTok. We don't post there a lot, like very sporadically, but we watch it often. And yeah, Growing Corn 2020. He also has a YouTube channel, so check that out. But he's hilarious. Like, you got to keep in mind, he's BSing most of the time. It's funny, though. Can't take it too personal. He hates on all brands. He's just funny. He really hates on Gleaners. Would you turn that old square body truck into a rat rod? Probably not, just because that was my grandpa's last truck, and right now it's basically like a time capsule. It's pretty much the exact same shape as it was when he passed away. Other than one of the rockers has got a little bit of rust on it.
Have you ever owned a Ford?
No. So, no. I was going to say when we got married, she had a Mercury, but we traded that off right before you got married, or right before we got married.
How's the Simply Safe? Have you said about the carbon monoxide thing?
No, I haven't. So we had a carbon monoxide alarm go off. Kind of scared us a little bit because we've never had that go off. But I think that was a false alarm. But I mean, I don't know. Glad we have it. But, I mean,
the Simply Safe people called us and said, "Hey, your alarm went off saying there's a carbon monoxide warning, whatever." So we went to the office and called the fire department, and they came and said, "There's no problem." And
Well, let's back it up here. The fire department came and the fire department came and they walked in and they're like, "Yeah, we don't have a CO sensor or the carbon monoxide sensor." I was like, "What are you even here for then?" They were supposed to have some kind of tester, but they basically said where I had my alarm sitting, like I was too lazy to drill a spot and put it on the wall. I just set it down on top of a cabinet. And they said it's not uncommon for people to do that and just for some reason setting it down like that, you can get a false reading. That's what happened. We were fine.
the guy from the fire department asked you when you got it, and you said like 3 months ago or whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, I saw that on your YouTube."
Yeah,
channel.
so the volunteer fire department apparently watches us, or some of the guys, because yeah, he knew when we got the thing. Tyler Arger's rocks. I don't know about that. He's pretty dumb. Yeah, I like Tyler. Good dude. Okay, when you getting your own YouTube channel?
I don't know. If I start off with 100,000 subscribers, I would do it. But I ain't about working on my way up.
You have to figure out how to edit your own videos. You just have to do like Cole's dad. So Cole, the Corn Star's dad, has a YouTube channel now, and he just sits there and talks for 20 minutes. But you don't talk a lot. You can tell stories about me and Dad. That could be your channel. Or kid stories. We have a friend, speaking of kid stories. She's hilarious. And I hope someday she goes, it's Angela.
Oh, yeah.
I hope someday she goes through her Facebook statuses and just writes a book. Because the stories that woman has about her kids are freaking hilarious. Like she shared one, like this time last year, they were selling goats or something, weren't they?
Oh,
Yeah, her husband doesn't have Facebook. He's very anti-technology, anti-social media. He's trying to sell his goats on Craigslist. So she gets on Facebook and says, "Hey guys, here's my husband's phone number. Pretend that you're interested in his goats and let's prank him." Hilarious. If we ever start a podcast, I'm going to interview her because that would be a funny one. Yes. Yeah. That's something I have been kicking around, the idea of starting a podcast. I just don't know what to call it or what to do or like what, I don't know. I don't know how we're going to do that just yet. It'd probably be mostly about farming, but not all the time. So, yeah, you want 100,000 subscribers. I just want 10,000 likes every video.
those are some big straws in your cups.
Yeah.
When we're at home, Brian drinks from my cups. He carries around girly pink or purple.
Well, that's because my cup always has coffee in it. Karen's podcast.
Oh, yeah, you read that.
Put an EFI carb on the Camaro. I'd much rather put an LS3 in the Camaro, but probably won't happen. Got house goals for now. Coming up with titles is definitely the hardest part of the video. So yeah, that's from Boar Review Farms. If I'm filming a video and something like sticks out to me and I think of the title, that's such a relief because it's like, oh, that's like my least favorite part is trying to find a catchy title.
Let's see, are we drunk? So
I am not drunk. I had
I
one
know,
beer.
it was funny. Ohio.
We are in Ohio. We are in Ohio. The Working Words podcast. It's funny, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't think many sponsors would go for that one.
Boiling that hose on the rocks will work.
That was a suggestion. I didn't do that. I just used brake fluid. It hasn't deteriorated yet, so I guess it worked out.
Somebody asked if it was cold.
Yeah, it's cold. It's Brian's Farming Podcast. That's actually probably what it'll be because I'm PFP. Yeah, I'm real creative with titles, like we just said. It's Brian's Farm Videos is super creative. Yeah, let's say for more smiles per hour. Yes, that would be awesome. I just have yet to find one of those in my price range. Do not watch Rut Daniels. Nothing personal, just never watched it. You threw it somewhere. Kayla, yours could be a day in the life of dealing with Brian, according to this person.
You just watch me walk around the house and say, Brian, close the door. Brian, turn the light off. Brian, throw away your trash. Seriously, like having 4 kids.
Not sure. We're happy. We got to pretend to be happy. Remember, it's part of the act. It's part of the act.
What is the bean price your way?
I don't know what they are right now. We actually have beans to haul this month. I'll check what the market closed at last week.
How many acres do you farm?
3,500.
It is 15 degrees. Feels like 8.
So beans closed at 13.63. Mm,
Is that what's his face's wife?
I don't know. Someone said something about Chet Larson's wife. I need to catch up with Chet. I don't know what's going on with her current situation. I haven't watched any of his videos lately, but if you don't know, Chet's wife found out she had a type of cancer, so they are, they were doing treatments. I'm guessing that's what they're talking about. So yeah, prayers for Chet's wife would be appreciated. I know they would appreciate it greatly. Do you have any left to move for that? So we have some beans left. I guess you could say we were not good grain marketers, as in most people that were sold a lot of their grain out of the field. We did not, but I guess it's working out for us right now.
Brian, listen to wife. Trust me, it will be best. Sounds like a wise guy.
Oh, dogfight.
Who would win in a boxing match? Leg arms. I don't know what the rest of that was supposed to be.
Probably leg arms. He's a big guy. Have you seen his arms?
They look like legs.
It's because he's a big dude. I don't know. I don't know how if his one arm's still kind of messed up or not.
See him exercising the other day.
He's probably fine then. Oh, Farmhand Mike or leg arms. Farmhand Mike is a very strong dude too, but I'm gonna have to go with leg arms, just because he's a little bit younger. For leg arms. Corn closed Friday. February corn 536. So we have more corn to move than beans. Bank said, "Don't put them in your bin for $10." Yeah, that's kind of what a lot of people around here were selling stuff right out of the field, just because if you would have looked on paper in harvest, there was no carry in the market. So I mean that made sense at the time, but.
So Nikki has a Caring Bridge link on their YouTube videos. Just to put it out there. And what do you think you would be doing if you were not a farmer?
I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't wanted to do anything other than farm since I was probably like
Be
10.
A cowboy?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the only thing I've ever wanted to do my whole adult life. So don't really know.
I've never even heard of Caring Bridge. What is that, like a GoFundMe?
I think it's something similar to that. Like I think if it's the site I'm thinking about, they post like a blog post of like her status updates with her health and all that stuff. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, I was fortunate enough to meet Nikki and Chet last December, well, December 2019 at Farmer to Farmer. Both of them were really good people. Had a really good time talking with them. They were kind of people that, I mean, they're pretty quiet. They're pretty quiet in person, but well, Chet is. Nikki's very outgoing, actually, but yeah, fun to be around. Good people.
They said you were right about Aaron Bridge thing.
Oh.
Have you ever been to Old Canal Smokehouse?
We have. Yep. It's not our favorite place.
I like the meat. I just don't like any of the sides they have.
Yeah. I mean, I like their smoked ribeyes, but I like my smoked ribeyes better.
I like the new intro on the videos.
Why, thank you.
Have you heard anything strange around the old bin site recently? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's a little sketchy there. I mean, I think I've mentioned in videos before that sometimes you hear weird noises, but no, I have not.
I heard a dog moo.
Yeah, we have one of our dogs howling at the beginning of the stream. Have you talked to your dad about a new bigger shop? So if we can sell our shop, so if anyone's in the market, we have a 60 by 120 commercial building that we're using as a farm shop this year. If we can sell that for what it's appraised at, we'd probably build like 100 by 100 steel building over by the grain bins. That's kind of our plan. I feel like that would be an awesome size for what we want, but we haven't sold ours yet. But yeah, if we ever sell it, that is the plan.
So if you want to see a new shop,
Just
come
buy the building.
old one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a perfect house. Like if you're looking for a man house, you got a 60 by 60, living area, then a 60 by 60 shop. Yeah, I mean, it would be a pretty good location for several businesses, but we almost had it sold before COVID started. Some guy was about to start a heavy equipment repair business there, and then the Rona scared him off.
What's the score?
Yeah, I don't know. What is the score of the game?
Mm.
I'm guessing Tampa Bay is still winning, but last I seen someone say it was like 31-9. I'd be looking for the score.
Apparently, there was a good Jeep commercial.
Yeah,
31-9.
Has anyone seen the good Jeep commercial? Heated floor in the new shop. That is the plan. I think that'd be the plan. Dad can't get over the price. Personally, I think a heated floor would be awesome. Yeah, as for a big door, I'd go with a plain hanger. So when I went out west this right before harvest, if you don't know, I went to Cole's house, I went to Zach's, went to Larson's, and went to Randy the Master Pipe Layers. Randy's shop was like the nicest shop I've ever been in my life. All of them guys have nice shops, but Randy's one shop, I think it was like a 55-foot door, and it was like a freestanding, perfectly balanced door. That's the door I would like to have. It was pretty sweet. If you can geek out over a shop door, I'm geeking out over that shop door.
Kayla needs a new house.
Yes, we are. So if you don't know, we're trying to build a house this year. We're still in the very early stages of that. We got a guy drawing our floor plans right now. Haven't been to the bank yet. Kind of waiting on taxes and stuff like that. But so yeah, if we get to build that house this year, which I hope it will. So on the other channel, the After Hours channel, we're going to be posting like updates of that. I'm sure you guys will. So my plan is, right now, anyways, like probably every day I'll have to go over there for something. Is kind of what I figure while we're building that house. So you guys will see it on here then. But like as far as updates and stuff like dedicated videos, that'll be on the other channel. You're going to build by the bin site. That is the plan. Seems like that would be the more ideal place for it.
What's the experience with the builder architect been?
So far, pretty good. So we had talked to one it was about a year ago, wasn't it? When we talked to the first guy, we thought, remember we went out to their house?
I know, I just don't remember.
I think it was pre-COVID. So when we talked to that guy, and he's a good builder. He's done good. Like he built someone we know's house pretty close to where our house is going to be. But when we were talking to him, it was just like we weren't really on the same page. Like we were describing what we wanted, and then it's just like he wasn't really catching what we were throwing down. And we didn't really have that experience with the last guy. I mean,
like we were new to it, and we were expecting him to ask us the questions to help us figure out what we needed and like walk us through the process.
Yeah.
And he did not. He just sat there and was like, okay, well, what do you want? And we're like, we don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, imagine someone saying, well, what do you want? And that sounds like an easy thing, but like, do you know how big the perfect size bedroom is? Because we didn't. 10 by 10, 12 by 12, 14 by 14, 8 by 8. Ooh. So far, this one's been pretty good.
He's Amish.
He is Amish, and we farm for him.
And we asked if we could record the new.
Yeah, they were all about it.
And they were okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that'll be pretty sweet. We're looking forward to it. So the house we live in, there's nothing wrong with it. This
30 by 30 for a bedroom.
That's actually our living room. Like that's our living room, dining room.
For a bedroom.
That is huge. So the house we live in right now, this is the home place for the farm. This is the house my dad was born in. He was probably born right about where we're sitting, oddly enough. This used to be Grandma and Grandpa's bedroom. Anyways, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's been remodeled and cobbled up. And if you're familiar with farmhouses, they get built real small, and then as the family grows, the house grows. So they end up real cobbled up, and we've just always wanted to design our own house, really, since we got married.
I don't like having it upstairs. It is super cold upstairs in the winter and super hot in the summer.
Yeah, I mean the house doesn't have an attic; it's just an A-frame house with an upstairs. So yeah, it's not the most efficient. Yeah, material is really crazy right now.
There was a fan on the field at the Super Bowl just now.
Oh, I'm surprised they're even letting people go. Oh. A 30 by 30. So if you get frisky, you have room to maneuver. All right.
Any hockey fans in the family?
Not really. Not really.
Brian's cousin, her little boy does hockey, but we're not really hockey people.
There's really not hockey around here. I mean, it's just not hockey. It's not hockey territory.
It's basketball.
Basketball, football, and baseball. Soccer is starting to come into the area. So when I graduated high school, it was like crazy to think of playing soccer. But we do have a soccer team now. Who are we rooting for? Tom Brady. Never thought I'd say that. Love the look of old farmhouses, but they are not functional. And really, this one don't even look like a farmhouse, I don't think.
We have friends that they live on Lover's Lane, and they have this amazing looking farmhouse.
Yeah.
It is so nice, and it looks so cool, and it's fun to visit, but I don't know that I'd ever like.
Well, it's like the house George lives in. So on that farm, that house is, I mean, it's 200 years old. Yeah, I mean, it's the family house for that farm. I mean, that farm's been in that family since 1798. And yeah, it's the same way. It looks huge, and it's actually not near as bad as the one you're talking about, though. Have you been in George's house lately?
I've been in the living room because George had everything like closed off.
Yeah, it's super inefficient, hard to heat. His house isn't as bad. It's been updated and remodeled, but yeah, they look pretty, but they're, yeah, like you said, much better than watching the game. We are that exhilarating, Kayla. I believe that's about the size, 16 by 18. I think that's about the size of, do you remember? I can't remember our floor. We had a floor plan with us. The guy hand drew it, and then we made modifications, and now he has it to draw the actual like real floor plan. What is it?
Will the new house be constructed of wood or metal?
Wood frame.
Yeah. What's your best tractor?
I don't know. It depends on. See, I really struggle with people when they ask that because I don't know.
If we move, who gets our house?
I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with it. On one hand, I hate to rent it because it is right beside my dad's house. It is like right in the middle of our main farm. So, like whoever we rent it to, I'd prefer it be someone. Yeah. So, like our plan is to be very selective with who we rent it to. I have a nephew that's about the age where he'd maybe move into a house. I'd be okay with renting to him. I have some cousins I'd be okay with, but I don't know. That's kind of the one thing I'm struggling with is what to do with this place. I hate to leave it empty because every time I've seen a house left empty, they just kind of fall apart. Use this for the farm office? No, because we've already got the farm office that we use. It's adequate for what we're doing with it. And if we build a building, like a new shop, we're going to have like a lean-to off to the side with a pretty nice farm office.
Would you want to bring your son to Attica for races sometime this year? Leg arms got fired, he said.
Leg arms, you get fired all the time. How is your arm? Is that why they fired you? Is that legal? Can they do that? Oh.
Why is he just writing F and M?
I don't know. It's probably helping with the algorithm, so more power to you. Yep. I can't remember where we were at. What are we talking about?
Leg arms fired.
Yeah, but before that, someone was saying something about a race or something.
Oh, Attica races. I've never been to a race in Attica. It's not a wet noodle.
Are you able to like lift stuff again, or like you got full use of that arm yet? I just want to know if I can take you in an arm wrestling match yet, or if you're back to normal. Yeah. So I think it was before I even knew if Scott was okay. I challenged him to an arm wrestling match in a private message. Probably, yeah. He was all drugged up at the time, so.
Make it a bungalow. Airbnb.
Yeah, we could maybe rent that out on the channel. Spend the weekend at the Browns.
Have an evening with Squishy.
Yeah. Yeah, there are there's several pole barn houses around here too. I don't know how to feel about that, but I don't know. I mean, it's not really a whole lot cheaper.
So it's 100%, but only 4 months.
Yeah. Do you have to get pins in that, Scott?
What is Instagram?
I have. There's a lot of Instagrams to watch.
Can you get leg arms, a job, and then you can run your house?
Yes, there we go. We need a fabricator too, so come on out, Scott. It's a lot more tropical here.
I'll buy the pit passes, you buy the nachos.
Speaking of races, I think Kayla and I are going to do a 5K here pretty soon, if they do those. Well, we did the one a couple years ago and it got canceled last year because of
I don't know.
Because of the Rona. I'm not a runner, but
I'm a walker.
Yeah, it's going to be a walk trot type of thing. How's the plan to rebuild going? Plan of rebuild's going slow right now. We've been waiting on parts for a week. I should take that back. The company that gave us or sent us the parts, that was not their fault. We did not order them till recently. So It's not like we ordered them a week and a half ago and it took them so long to get them. I think I ordered them Thursday, so not bad. Pretty good shipping time, really. Now they are an Ohio company, so that did help. Yeah. Especially for wheat, I thought that thing was awesome. Are we interested in one? I don't know. If we were planting a lot of wheat, maybe. We're probably not going to be interested in anything like that until we were ready to part ways with our case planter. The only way that I would really be into it would be, seems like this year, I got to keep track. Only way I'd really be interested in an air seeder, spend that much money, is if it's something that we could plant all of our beans with. I don't know if I want to plant beans with a 30-foot drill. I knew that one was a little bit higher speed, but still yet, my acres per hour were not quite what they are with a 40-foot planter. But other than that, that thing was pretty sweet. It was a big step up from what we usually plant wheat with. Someone said it's the year of YouTubers rebuilding planters. Yeah, seems like there's several doing it. I know of a couple more that's going to be happening here soon. But I mean, to be honest, part of that is because, well, like for us, a lot of things have been getting upgraded here lately because we've been putting that off because of commodity prices, and now they're kind of at a place where we're able to afford things like that right now. Now, the planter, we had kind of committed to that like in November, but like the John Deere tractor, for example, if corn prices would have stayed, below $3, bean prices below $10, that tractor probably wouldn't be here.
Will you be able to plant at
Yep,
10 miles?
We sure will, up to 12. So Ag Leader claims they can plant just as accurately at 3 miles an hour as they can 12 miles an hour and everything in between. So, yeah, when we get that thing together, we're going to do some testing with it. Pretty excited about it. I mean, if you haven't noticed, we like to experiment with things. We like to test things. So I think we're going to have some plots with that planter, trying to see like what speeds it plants best at. Be testing our stand, our singulation, all that kind of stuff.
Have you figured out what head you're going to use with the gleaner?
No, we're trying to figure out. So it's probably going to be a Capella head, just because we've had really good luck with Capella, like them very well. They do. We're very satisfied with our Capella head on our claws. We're trying to figure out is we want to do rigid or folded. So with a gleaner, you have an offset feeder house due to just the design of the threshing and whatnot. Well, they make a purpose-built fixed Capella corn head for a gleaner. And what I mean by that, it takes into account that offset. Everything else is built for it. Like the augers, like one side of the auger is a little bit longer in the center. Well, with a folding corn head, they don't. So your folding corn head is not going to be sitting where it's supposed to be. And we're trying to figure if we want to go fixed or folding. I don't know. Personally, I think we'd get used to it. I don't think it'd be that huge of a deal. We'd maybe just have to run an extra stomper or something. Stomper. They say stonker. I don't know. But that's what we're trying to figure out. And then every now and then Dad says, we'll just go with an AGCO head. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the AGCO corn head. I think the Capella would serve us much better. I've ran 4 AGCO corn heads now, I think, and I've plugged every one of them at some point. We have an Oliver 77. Planting any cover crops? We are. So we are in what's called Conservation Steward Program. So as part of that program, we have to plant like 300 acres of cover crops every year. So that's why this year we put out cover crops. We'll be putting 300 acres of cover crops out next year and the year after. But yeah, it's a good program. It basically helps us, justify the cost of the seed and the expense of putting cover crops on, with the benefit of, or with the incentive of, helping conserve soil, keep erosion down and whatnot. But I thought it was a good reason or a good opportunity for us to figure if cover crops are even worth it for us.
Say hi to Dominic and Braden.
Well, hello, Dominic and Braden.
You getting a bean head or just a corn head?
We are running an AGCO bean head next year. So last year when we demoed the Gleaner, we had, I can't remember what the number is. It's the newest AGCO Draper. I think it's a 9340. Does that sound right? Anyways, we were really impressed with that bean head. We've been running McDon since 2010. Nothing against the McDon. Just wanted to try the AGCO. It's kind of a give and take. They both shine in certain places. And maybe we'll hate this, but we're giving it a try.
Have you ever been to Ontario?
I have never been to Canada.
Do you like NASCAR?
Yes.
Everybody's going to bed.
Yeah, it
Looks
is.
like a good idea.
Yeah, it's we usually only go an hour. We're a little later than normal, so. But we'll answer two more questions. What do you think about Iowan farmers' tax video? So, if you don't know, one of the proposed tax plans from the new administration is restructuring how they do inheritance tax, which that may sound like, oh, we don't really care about people's inheritance, stuff like that. I would suggest watching an Iowan farmer's video. It really goes through in good detail how that will work and what that will look like. It's not just going to be affecting like multimillionaires or billionaires. It's really going to hurt small business, family farms, even if you're inheriting a house from your parent. I hope that was just an oversight. I have to believe that was just an oversight. And if they'll fix that, maybe they won't. I don't know. I hope they do, though. For any particular reason, you run a pivoting bean planter instead of a split or double folding? No, that's just the style of case planter we've been running the last two planters. I would have never dreamed we would have had another case planter, but we got a pretty good deal on that one. And other than the bearing openers, the planter's been fine. I kind of like that pivoting planter because it's narrow, and yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, that's it, guys. We're gonna call it quits. I gotta bathe. I stink. So hope everyone has a good Super Bowl evening, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't know where the end button is.
Have you done this?
Not for a while. End.